What's going on, guys? Today was a great day. Ended up trading my top step. Ended up making $700. Took 4 total trades, 2 L's on YM. First trade I took was $800 actually, so I ended up giving a little bit back, but I was making sure that my stop losses were tight. I went ahead and reinforced a 250 on every trade that I get in, no matter what. That is as big of a loss as I'll take, just to really build those principles into my head. 4 total trades. The last trade I got in was gold, and it started to tank, bounced off the weekly VWAP, and we took it to the downside. It started to rip back, so I just was trailing it actively. It actually didn't really make much of a lower high. I just followed it because it was free falling. Somewhere around like 10 a.m., 10:30. It was like 10:30, 10:40 this morning. So happy with today's progress. As I told you, I'm not interested in getting on that run ever again. I hope that I can share this story, down the road on podcasts, on whatever, on other people's channel, and be able to say, yeah, I did this crazy. If you go to my channel, 10, or 100 burpee, I would say 10 miles, 5 mile, deal. For the record, I'm still sore. As you guys know, I box in the morning. I, usually lift weights. I haven't really shown you guys too much of that, but you guys know what I'm doing. I don't want to bore you with the same stuff. It's very repetitive. But as I told you, I'm working some stuff in the background where hopefully I can paint this story of, what I do on a day-to-day, which is mundane to me, but which is, maybe a little bit encouraging, maybe a little exciting to you guys. When I get in the gym, early, knock it out, train my clients, get on the computer. Now I'm starting to implement like smooth, soothing jazz, piano, coffee shop. I'm putting that on to keep me objective, try to, remove any emotional trading, just emotions in general when I'm in a position to be able to stay calm and stay relaxed. There's little tidbits. I'm also reading The Daily Trading Coach by Brett Steenbarger, which he is the coach for S&P Capital, a psychology coach. So 101 tips essentially on how to become your own day trading. I just started it on my chapter 3. Been going back through meditations, which is Marcus Aurelius. You've got all these guys who are just have wealth amass of knowledge. And so I continue to just grab those little tidbits that maybe I missed, going back in there. What I will do, because I'm getting ready to head back to the gym and train some clients, is tonight we'll break down some of those trades. I'm going to input those as long as Topstep doesn't give me any issues. That's the thing, is the last time I had some issues trying to export and import into TradeZella, it wasn't really being super friendly, so I'll take a little bit more time to find that today. Maybe I'll do some YouTube or whatever just to make sure I know where I'm looking on Topstep so I can make it a seamless process for you guys. We'll look at some of the trades that I took. We'll dive into it. I was getting ready to talk about the YM trades, which ended up going in my favor, but we'll dive into that stuff. But reading this book, I'm starting to realize that every day is deep work. Not spending a whole lot of time. I very rarely am watching TV. I'm either, just working out, right? Talking to Bay, or I'm studying. And so 90% of what I'm doing is I'm just studying. The other thing as well is this, and we'll look at this together perhaps. If it's something you guys are interested in, you can drop a comment on it to go into it. I'm sure you guys have already seen other traders that you guys like watching, that I also watch as well, because I want to learn little tidbits about how to become the best version, John Wick Profits or the best trader Julian can be. And so I'm starting to look heavily into Bookmap. I want to know why I'm holding runners. I want to know why I'm exiting. and have a rhyme or reason, because it becomes more, systematic. It becomes way more mechanical, so that I'm able to know it's time to get out, or it's time to stay in, or here comes some more volume, let's stay in this, or there's more volume, it's time to get out, through volume profile, through, just orders, depth of market, just these are super, super important, open, high, low, close, or OHLC, which is like what you guys see, on TradingView, is like the tip of the iceberg, so it's going deeper. It's realizing this is what it's going to take in order for me to have the kind of career that I want to have in this space. And that's fine with me, because the man that I'm having to become is much more incredible than just simply making money, because making money is a byproduct of being the man that I need to be in order to not only extract it from the markets, but then keep it, and then be able to leverage it, and then be able to make more money on my money. So I'm up for the challenge, because all the reading that I do, I always feel like I'm in like this mode of, I gotta get better, I gotta get better, I gotta get better. That's growth. You know what I'm saying? I'm becoming a better businessman by doing that. I'm becoming a better, boyfriend. I'm becoming a better trainer. I'm becoming a better brother. I'm becoming a better son. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are things that I'm having to develop me as a person. And that in turn also makes me a profitable trader. So as you know, there's no shortcuts here. There's no fugazi here. You want to go watch somebody else who's telling you, wow, I just made $50,000 today, light work in the market. That's a bunch of bullshit. So there are people out there who are doing it at a high level. I'm not saying that there aren't, and I'm not, projecting or I'm not there, so I'm jealous. Listen, all I did for 20 years was grind. And so I wasn't worrying about what was the receiver next to me doing, or what was this guy doing, or what was he doing, or what camps were he going to. I just focused on me. And so that's what I'm the best at, is focusing on me. That's what I'm going to keep doing. I hope you guys are enjoying the journey. I know some videos are super quick. I don't have a whole lot to say. Some videos are an hour long. I hope you guys are taking value where you can. Hopefully at this point, you guys see that we're over 100 videos, almost 150 videos in. This is not some fly-by-night, I'm going to pop on a couple videos, let me see if I can go viral. I don't have titles that say, I don't know, I made $1 million in 30 seconds. I know how to grab you. I can grab your attention if that's what I need to do, but that's not what I'm looking to do. I told you already, this is for my kids. This is for my loved ones. This isn't for clout. But I know that the people who are supposed to be here are here. The people who have been watching up to this point are here. You are committed to me because my videos are really not that wow, look at what car he driving, look at that shit doesn't matter. When it happens, you're gonna know that he's real. I watched it from the beginning. I watched him blow accounts. I watched him go through that pain. I watched him run 5 miles. I watched him do 100 burpees. And then I watched him succeed. And I watched him go and travel around the world and do all the things so of course, already, I've said this to you multiple times, that I have a goal. That those are the things that I always repeat, traveling and having time, financial, location freedom. But I do it because I think of legacy in my mind, not because of just wait till I can flex on you guys with my Lambo. That's such a small piece of that's a trophy to me. Understand that me buying that car, whether you feel it's a good financial decision to make or not, is not really up to you. I'm going to do it when I feel I'm ready to. And yeah, it's not going to be the first 250,000, 300,000 I ever make in the markets and just let's go, in cash. That's dumb, but be able to put assets in place where I can lease one for $2-3 grand a month. Yeah, I'll I'll do that all day, making what, 15, 20, 30, 40 a month. Yeah, I'll do that all day long. So, but I'm telling you up front, I don't need to. Why? Because that's not an asset. Even if I get a 1 of 63, listen, yeah, it's a little bit more valuable. At the end of the day, it's still a liability. I want assets because I never want to be broke. Ever. I'm doing this now and I'm telling you early because you know where I'm going. And I don't know how long it's going to take. But those who are here already and listen to me talk and go through these struggles and this and that and are the ones that I know are already looking for some real sauce. And when I tell you books and I recommend things, I hope you guys are also taking that seriously. Unfortunately, it's always this delayed thing where I have to be driving the car and in the Lambo and in the mansion for you guys to go, let me go look at his other videos. He maybe is dropping some sauce here. That's just the way of the world. You want it now. You want instant gratification. The markets are not even close. Is the opposite, polar opposite of instant gratification. So I hope this gives you some insight on, slow down, because I'm having to. You can hear me talk at the very beginning of when I started the vlogs to now, and the poise and the patience and trust me, I'm not even close to being there. I'm really not. So I'm not even going to try to sit here and pretend like I've got it figured out. But one thing I do know is I don't want to do that damn run again. So I will second guess, should I stay in this losing position or should I just back out and reassess it and I can always get back in? If I lose 2 in a row, I'm done for the day. There's rules, non-negotiables that I cannot go, but this is the perfect setup. I don't care. Prove it to yourself first. Change your life with the money that you're making out of the market. And then you want to try some different things. With statistics, it'll tell you if it's working or not. So that third trade after 2 losses in a row, does that actually make me money? Or is it only 10% of the time I make money? But because our brains are such sophisticated, but almost in a way, sometimes not consciously, but subconsciously put you in the wrong mindset. That recency bias is, oh yeah, I remember that one, I made 3K on that third trade and I had lost 2 in a row. That was the one time that made it 10%. All the other ones, the other 9 were losses and they were big cashes and maybe you blew an account and maybe this, maybe this is what you have to start collecting data on. And so like I said, I find myself tracking absolutely everything because I have to, because I need to know the unconscious mistakes I'm making because I don't even realize that I'm doing the same thing. And that run was a big wake up. So we'll come back on later tonight. We'll go through some of the 4 trades today. I'll get it all uploaded from Top Step onto TradeZella. We'll do some replay on it. We'll talk about it. And I had a sticky note that had all my trades written out, so I think it's sitting over there on the table. But we will go through those things. All right, guys, so we're breaking down the 5 trades that we took. This was a $152 loss at the very, very beginning. As you can see, this is what I took. So I was sitting here waiting for this low to be broken. I should have waited a little bit longer. I ended up getting in on this candle. We ended up pushing down. It did actually end up failing. I just got in this, saw, it start to reverse. So this is really just impatience and not letting this thing play out. Because although I started to see push back up, I obviously got out of it because I didn't want it to get any worse on me. But we continued to go down, continue to go down, continue to go down. That would have been a nice play there. And that was for my first $152 loss. So we've got to just be patient in there. It consolidated, but we got rejection. It didn't even quite fill this area and retest. It kind of just, sellers were really in control at this point. This is at 10:50 in the morning. So, like I said, pretty much right at open. Here's, our opening play. Go test these lows, take it up, find some highs. And then once we broke this area right here, we started to gain control. And then all of a sudden we just started to dump. And we were making lower highs, Lower lows, lower highs, lower low, lower high. I mean, very clean structure. So I just need to stay in this a little bit longer. So a little bit of impatience in that first one. So let's move to the next one. This trade number 2, which was beautiful, this is a $986 win. We were in 5 contracts here. This was actually a VWAP trade. VWAP. This was rejecting super, super intense here. Obviously, we got this. And then once we started to get up here, and now we've still got sellers who are, getting into this market and not coming up to retest. I said, okay, let's go ahead and jump into this. So we went ahead and took the sells on things. And we wrote it down. I mean, look at this continuation though. I mean, there's so much more room. So again, it's a bit of impatience as well. I am, of course, getting better and better every day, but ultimately this is like, I'm leaving a lot of money on the table. I've got to be able to let the market tell me why, I am or am not getting out of, certain positions, not just because, okay, well, there is a profit target. In my defense, there is a profit target. As you guys know, I've put on the 1,000 TP. We did hit that here. Well, very, very close. And so, we went ahead and took money off the table, but there's so much more to be taken here. I've got to let the winners run. This will cover a lot more of my losses. So I have to keep that in mind as well. But beautiful play, here. So just obviously a break, of structure. We ended up getting under support here at that 5498 area. Wrote it down to, I want to say the actual play was down to, let's see, get the exact number for you, 5493.25, and we got in at 5497.25. So we played that for about $5. So solid play there, or 4 point, excuse me. So solid play there. Let's move to the next one. This one was a $192 loss. And this one really wasn't, I'm looking at it again and we're in range. Yes. Not really sure what I'm looking at here, to be honest. I get in on these buys. I mean, of course, I see a bit of displacement here. I see, an engulfing, but I'm entering solely off of that and feeling it's going to make it to its highs, which are, up here at the top. But again, I'm not really patient, not waiting for confirmation there. So once I start to see it, kind of fall over and continue to the lows down there, I went ahead and just cut it for that 192 loss. So we've got one more loss here on the next one. So let's go ahead and go to the next trade quickly. This is a $142 loss, and very similar. We're in a range. I end up shorting, which, let's see. Yeah, I mean, at one point, if I'm looking at this correctly, I was up. I was up pretty decent. As you can see, I mean, that's a nice candle right there. That's where I entered at. I, was obviously playing these okay, we're breaking these lows situation. And so 46.65. Let's see where we're at. 6.65, 6.6. I pretty much catch it at the bottom. 6.65 is where this is at. So if I put a horizontal line there, that's where we're talking about I entered. So not the greatest. Obviously, that gives us a little bit more in depth of well, what was I looking at? I got to wait for that to break. Obviously, we get a bounce there. So just being a little bit impatient, chasing a trade. If I'm going to get in, then maybe I'm looking for something that's a little bit more up here. I get this doji candle with this close, and we start to see levels here that it's not holding. So maybe we start to play it down into this some miniature intraday supply and demand area. But these are the things that we have to, keep our eyes out for. So again, I need to wait, need to be a little bit more patient on that. And then we've got one more trade. And this is the gold one. This is for 206. This is just a singular contract. And this one, again, very, very similar play. Let's see if I can pop up the VWAP here. Wow, sorry, my camera's looking crazy. Here we go. Let me see if I can pull this up. We're going to go indicators, VWAP, boom, style. I like to make it orange, and I like to make it a little bit larger as far as visibility goes. And then I usually pop down to the 15-minute. And obviously even then, that's even more I want to say I was looking at the hourly, even a bigger time frame, which was really look at this. And normally when you look left and you see that this VWAP is underneath, I mean, gold's got some nice legs on it. boom, boom, boom. You know what I'm saying? Boom, boom, boom. I mean, it prints when it's underneath. That was quite as simply as that trade went, and it did, do the deed. I wish I would have taken it a little bit further, but I did get a massive, massive pullback here, so I'm happy with this trade. Enter at 24.15, exit at 24.17. Again, $3 play. However, it did end up going much, much further, but, beggars can't be choosers. This was the play on the 1 minute. So as you guys can see, boom, that's where I entered. We rode this thing down, got some nice explosive plays, and then we ended up getting out there before that big pullback. So we took a good majority of that move, but not all of it. Let's see where I entered, or I exited. 24.15. 24.15, 670. Yep. You see it. Pretty dang good right there, And so all I did is I actually trailed this. Gold, when it wants to go, it'll go. I was just making sure that, okay, if this is in fact what I'm going to be looking for, then I need to, if I'm going to be right, we need to be right now. Remember, I had already just made that nice pot of cash at the beginning. I didn't want to give that back. Gold can be very volatile. If you're in the wrong direction, it's, no good. So I literally was just trailing it. I wasn't really getting a whole lot of lower highs. I wasn't getting a lot of, stair steps, if you will. It was just straight elevator down. And so because that can bounce and it's just like going to grab liquidity at some level, wherever level it decides to go, I literally just stayed taking profit as it moved. When new minute candles were printing, I was literally just moving it. It came up, smacked me, and that's where I was able to get 206. I think I was up a little bit bigger, but I wanted to just go through some of those trades, guys. Obviously, be able to internalize this stuff. I think that overall the trades went well. Right now, even though the it's one day, we're up 700 some bucks or whatever on the top step. This is the habits every day that I have to continue to build, So here we are. Of course, I come over here, and here's what we made. We 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Boom. So I'm putting that on the desk. Of course, we've got the 10K here. We put this on the desk. We see it. We feel it. We touch it. Do you want to give that back? Do you want to give this back? Of course not. You don't want to give this back. So what do? I put it on the desk. I need to feel it. Oh, 200 lost? Okay, take that out. Okay, 200 lost? Take that out. Okay, 200 lost? Take that out. Okay, now you're negative. You've got no money sitting on the desk now or whatever. So it's just taking those extra steps. It sounds silly, but it's like, you seem crazy until it works, And so I just hope that it's helping one person be able to like really lock in and get their get their psychology on point. I'm always reading, I'm always learning. I'm trying to dive into more books on how I can master this because I know that this is the most important thing. So I don't want to keep you guys any longer. I know the beginning, it was about 20, 30 minutes or something like that when I was earlier today once I came back from the gym. So I wanted to make sure that I got back on here and broke these trades down for you. You guys got to actually visualize and see what I was looking at. Again, it's not perfect. I cut losers short. I'm proud of that. There's one thing that I wrote down that it's in my car, but in this book that I'm reading right now, the psychology book, and I told you guys earlier, now I'm like drawing a blank of what it's called. Let me go to my Audible. The Daily Trading Coach by Brett Steenbarger. And he says, what makes this day a win? Or what am I doing in my, daily, whatever, due diligence or plans or whatever that is for you. That's the thing. You're always like working on something that you're trying to minimize, that you're trying to make sure that you're cautious of, whatever. What can I do today that if I don't make any money still is a win for the day? And it's a very interesting thought process. And it's like, okay, well, what is that? For me, because I don't want to go do the 5-mile run and 100 burpees, is losing $1,000 or less. 2 trades in a row, being able to get up, boom, and leave. And, don't continue to trade and go, well, there's a perfect setup right here on Trade D. The reality is that there's a very, very small percentage of time that I actually do end up making money, making that money back, end up just, it's just like, this loop, right? This negative loop that is not helping anybody. So you've got to be able to step away objectively and go, I'm going to live another day. I'm going to get in tomorrow. I'm going to see if there's plays. If there's not, no biggie. If there is, awesome. I'm never going to FOMO. I'm never going to YOLO. This is what it is to become a professional trader. And so these are the bumps and bruises that you take. But I needed to do something that was like, I never want to do that again. So like at minimum, I'm holding accounts longer. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't mean that we're going, to $100 million tomorrow. Of course not. But this is progress. These are little wins. These are things that I have to remind myself of, like, good job today. It's just those little things. And when you do that, and then you look back a year from now, 2 years from now, you're like, well, I got a lot of money sitting here. Like, I'm doing very, very well. Like, I actually don't do anything else but trade now. This is my job. This is what I live off of. This is how I make my livelihood. This is how but I've built these skills that, like, the equivalent, as it says in the book, of, like, you don't really think about getting up and brushing your teeth. Doesn't matter if you woke up late and your plan was to wake up at 5 a.m. or if you were, something came up or your alarm didn't go off, whatever. Are you going to miss brushing your teeth? No. You have to have that same kind of, autonomous mode about your trading strategy and how you do things and risk management and, and our multiple, etc. And that is what takes you to the promised land. And it's like these little nuggets, I need them for me to stop learning and just be like, it's just time. Like, I have to also improve. I got to improve me in order for me to see the results that I'm looking for. So to sit here and just, well, it's just not my time. I'm just not ready for the money yet. Well, I don't subscribe to that. I need to change something that I'm doing that's self-inflicted, but I need to change it. Doing less in the market as far as trading less, okay, that can also be very valid as well. But I'm not going to just sit on my hands and go, well, I just need to do this for another 2 years. That must be what it is. No, I'm going to be pivoting, turning, adjusting, moving with the market and trying my best to minimize my downside, maximize my upside, make as much money as I can, extract it out of the markets against some of the brightest minds in the world, and do it consistently. So I've always got to be on that grind. The good news is that's all I know how to do. So we're going to keep doing that. Let's go ahead and dive into this real quick. Let's hit a chapter and then let's close this thing off. All right. We are, I believe, still in Matthew. You're blessed. This is a quick one. All right. So stay with me. When Jesus saw his ministry drawing huge crowds, he climbed a hillside. Those who were apprenticed to him, the committed, climbed with him. Arriving at a quiet place, he sat down and taught his climbing companions. This is what he said: "You're blessed when you are at the end of your rope. With less of you, there is more of God in his rule. You're blessed when you feel you've lost what is most dear to you. Only then can you be embraced by the one most dear to you." What's that say right there? You're blessed when you feel you've lost the one who's most dear to you. Only then can you be embraced by the one that's most dear to you. So I highlighted that, and then I got it tatted on me. That was a while ago, but love that one. You're blessed when you're content with just who you are. No more, no less. That's the moment you find yourselves proud owners of everything that can't be bought. You're blessed when you've worked up a good appetite for God. He's food and drink in the meal you'll ever... Best drink in the meal you'll ever eat. You're blessed when you care. At the moment of being careful, you find yourself cared for. You're blessed when you get your inside world, your mind and heart put right. Then you can see God in the outside world. You're blessed when you can show people how to cooperate instead of compete or fight. That's when you discover who you really are, and you're placed in God's family. You're blessed when your commitment to God's provokes persecution. The persecution drives you even deeper into God's kingdom. Not only that, Count yourselves blessed every time people put you down or throw you out or speak lies about you to discredit me. What it means is the truth is too close for comfort and they are uncomfortable. You can be glad when that happens. Give a cheer even. For though they don't like it, I do, and all heaven applauds. And know that you are in good company. My prophets and witnesses have always gotten into this kind of trouble. Say it with me. If you know it, you are uniquely different. God took his time on you. You are one of one. Nobody told you today. Love you so much. Peace.